It was mid 1970s. Leslie and John Brown, as Bristol-based couple, were childless even after 9 years of marriage. After visiting scores of doctors, they finally approached Dr. Patrick Steptoe and Dr. Robert Edwards. As an experiment, they would help the couple bear a child. Dr. Steptoe extracted an egg from Leslie. The egg was then mixed with John's sperm for fertilization. The fertilized egg was then placed in a special solution and allowed to divide into 64 cells. The fertilized egg, now an embryo, was placed into Leslie's uterus. 9 months later, on July 25, 1978, Leslie delivered Louise Brown, the world's first test tube baby. Louise's birth was considered as a medical triumph and provided hope to many infertile couples who are unable to conceive or produce children even after 2 years of unprotected sexual cohabitation. Infertility can be caused by many factors, including physical and congenital reasons, sexually transmitted diseases, drugs, immunological or even psychological, and lifestyle factors. To treat infertility, couples are often advised to visit infertility clinics, where the doctors evaluate both partners to pinpoint the causes of infertility. Based on the results, the doctors may then suggest medication or surgery. For instance, if a blocked fallopian tube is preventing the woman from conceiving, then the doctor will suggest surgery to unblock it. However, when surgeries or medications fail, doctors may suggest assisted reproductive technologies or ART. ART is a collective term used for clinical procedures that are designed to help achieve pregnancy by allowing the egg and sperm to meet in an artificial environment, usually a laboratory. Today, there are several types of ART available for infertile couples, including in vitro fertilization, intrauterine transfer, zygote intrafallopian transfer, gamete intrafallopian transfer, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and artificial insemination. In vitro fertilization or IVF, which was used to treat Leslie Brown, is a process in which the egg is fertilized by the sperm outside the woman's body and under simulated conditions created in the laboratory. IVF is also called a test tube baby program. Interestingly, the gametes can be collected from the partner or a donor. Once the egg and sperm are collected, they are placed in a dish for fertilization and incubated together to form an embryo. IVF is followed by embryo transfer or ET, where the embryo is transferred to the uterus using a tube called a catheter. Apart from IVF, couples can also opt for intrauterine transfer or IUT. In this method, embryos formed by fusion of gametes inside a healthy woman's body or in vivo fertilization are removed through surgery and transferred into the uterus of the woman who wishes to conceive. Another option available for infertile couples is zygote intrafallopian transfer or ZIFT. This process is similar to IVF, where the gametes are collected and the egg is fertilized in the lab. Post-fertilization, when the zygote contains more than 8 blastomeres, the doctors create a small incision in the abdomen using a fiber-thin tube called a laparoscope. The zygote are then transferred to the fallopian tube through the laparoscope. Interestingly, a laparoscope is also used in another ART called gamete intrafallopian transfer or GIFT, in which a healthy egg from a donor is placed inside the fallopian tube of the woman who wishes to conceive. GIFT is performed when the female partner has a non-functioning ovary but her uterus and fallopian tube are in a healthy condition and capable of providing a conducive environment for fertilization and fetal development. Did you know that at times a woman may not be able to conceive because of male infertility resulting from low sperm count, low sperm motility, a damaged or missing vas deferens, or the inability to inseminate? In such cases, the couple can opt for intracytoplasmic sperm injection or ICSI, in which the doctor injects a single sperm into each ovum, which leads to fertilization. Post-fertilization, the fertilized egg divides to form an embryo, which is planted inside the uterus using a catheter. Apart from ICSI, artificial insemination is another option in which semen collected from either the male partner or a donor is introduced into the vagina or uterus by inserting a catheter. Hence, artificial insemination is also called intrauterine insemination or IUI. Artificial insemination as well as other ARTs are helping infertile couples realize their dreams of becoming parents. However, one should remember that these methods are expensive as they require highly qualified doctors as well as expensive instruments. Pregnancy is one of the most wonderful experiences for a woman. However, if one gets pregnant as a result of rape, casual, unprotected coitus, or failure of contraceptives used during coitus, it could turn out to be a harrowing and distressing experience. Under such circumstances, many women opt for medical termination of pregnancy or MTP, also called induced abortion. MTP is the intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term by expulsion of the fetus from the mother's uterus. Doctors might also recommend MTP if a woman is suffering from serious medical conditions such as heart diseases or blood pressure, because continuation of pregnancy could prove fatal to her. MTP is also advised if there is a possibility of the child being born with severe physical or mental disabilities. Estimates show that nearly 40 to 50 million women opt for MTP every year worldwide. And in India, This figure averages 6.7 million every year. However, when India was a newly independent country, the laws concerning abortion were restrictive and abortion was permitted only if the continuation of pregnancy could prove fatal for a woman. Things started changing during the late 50s and 60s when demographers raised concerns about India's spiraling population. They started pressing for liberalization of abortion laws, which they thought could help lower the birth rate. The demographers' calls for liberalization of abortion policies found support from doctors who were alarmed by rampant illegal abortions. To address the situation, the Indian government formed the Shantilal Shah Committee in 1964. Acting on the recommendations of this committee, the Indian government passed the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act 1971 that paved the way for liberalized abortion laws. The MTB Act states that an abortion can be carried out only by an approved doctor. Moreover, while the opinion of one qualified doctor is sufficient for pregnancies of up to 12 weeks, for pregnancies of more than 12 weeks but less than 20 weeks, the certification of two approved doctors is essential to conduct an abortion. This is because an abortion of up to 12 weeks of pregnancy is far less risky than one carried out for a pregnancy of more than 12 weeks. However, abortions of pregnancies beyond 20 weeks are prohibited under the MTB Act unless the pregnancy poses a threat to the mother's life. The MTB Act has made it easier for women to opt for medical termination of pregnancy. However, experts claim that illegal abortions, including sex selective abortions and abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy, are on the rise. To reverse this trend, people are being educated about gender equality as well as the health hazards associated with illegal abortions. They are also being educated about how to avoid pregnancies by using contraceptives such as condoms and pill. Condoms can also protect young people from plethora of diseases and infections such as gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B and HIV. Collectively known as sexually transmitted diseases or STDs or venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections. These diseases are contagious through sexual contact. Incidentally, certain diseases such as hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by sharing injection needles and surgical instruments used by infected persons, blood transfusion, or from infected mothers to the fetus. Different STDs are caused by different pathogens. Chlamydiasis and gonorrhea, for instance, are bacterial infections. Trichomoniasis, on the other hand, is caused by a microscopic one-celled protozoan called Trichomonas vaginalis, whereas HIV, the most dangerous of all STDs, is caused by the human immunodeficiency virus or HIV. In most cases, people suffering from STDs show symptoms such as itching, fluids discharge, swellings in the genital region, as well as pain during sexual intercourse. However, the symptoms are not always obvious. In fact, most people don't show any symptoms of infection during the early stages of the diseases. Moreover, when symptoms become obvious, people avoid seeking medical opinion for fear of being stigmatized. One should, however, not forget that timely detection and appropriate treatment can make a person completely free of most STDs. However, there are a few exceptions like hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infections that cannot be cured. Moreover, timely detection is the key to prevent STD related complications such as pelvic inflammatory diseases, abortions, stillbirths, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. Did you know that STDs, which are widely prevalent in people who are aged between 15 and 24, can be prevented if one takes simple precautions such as using condoms and avoiding sex with the unknown or multiple partners? We are responsible for our own health, and simple things such as the use of condoms can keep STDs at bay.